It's odd how nothing seems wrong, yet something feels off. You spend time together, talk, and even share laughs, but there's an emotional gap you can't quite pinpoint. There aren't any big fights or clear betrayals, just a lingering sense that love isn't as warm, deep, or easy as you expected. This lack of clarity is what makes it confusing. When something is obviously broken, you know how to fix it. However, when everything seems fine on the surface but feels incomplete inside, your mind searches for answers that aren't so easy to find. Research in relationship psychology shows that emotional dissatisfaction often arises from small moments of unmet expectations rather than major conflicts. These tiny disconnects seem insignificant on their own, but over time, they create a feeling that something is missing. That feeling lingers. Quiet. Persistent. Unresolved. This feeling didn't start in your current relationship or even in adulthood. It began in your earliest moments when your brain was learning about love before you had the words to describe it. During those early years when care was consistent, someone responded to your needs almost automatically. When you cried, someone came. When you felt discomfort, someone soothed it. You didn't have to explain yourself or analyze your feelings. Love felt immediate, safe, and whole. Neuroscience calls this implicit memory, meaning emotional experiences stored in your brain without conscious recall. Even if you don't remember those moments, your nervous system does. It recalls what it felt like to be fully attended to. Without realizing it, your mind forms a quiet expectation that love should feel like that. Effortless and almost automatic. Now, as an adult, when love demands explanation, patience, or repetition, it feels like something is missing, even when nothing is actually wrong. That's the paradox. You feel disappointed now because somewhere along the line, your brain experienced something that seemed perfect. However, adult love operates under entirely different rules. This is where reality starts to clash with expectation. As a child, your needs were simple and direct. Comfort, safety, attention. Now, your needs are layered and complex. You seek emotional understanding, intellectual connection, physical attraction, shared goals, stability, and personal growth, all at the same time. Your partner tries to understand all of that without direct access to your inner world. This creates what psychologists refer to as a perception gap. They care, but they don't always respond in the exact way you expect. Then there's the most significant shift of all. Love isn't one-sided anymore. In the past, you received without any responsibility. Now, love is reciprocal. Both partners have needs, stress, limitations, and emotional blind spots. Your partner may be overwhelmed at work, mentally distracted, or emotionally drained. Not because they don't care, but because they're human. Studies in adult attachment indicate that long-term relationships naturally shift from intense emotional focus to periods of stability and routine. The mind often misinterprets this stability as emotional distance. So what feels like less love is often just love changing form. You start noticing this in the smallest moments. You're sitting on the couch in a Los Angeles apartment, both scrolling through your phones. There's no conflict or tension, but also no deep connection in that moment. You send a message during the day hoping for warmth, and when the reply is short or delayed, your mind fills in the gaps. You go out for dinner in London. Everything feels normal, conversation flows, yet when you get home, there's this quiet thought that it didn't feel as special as you imagined. At work in New York or Toronto, you face pressure, deadlines, and internal stress. When you finally talk to your partner, you want them to understand you instantly and deeply, without needing to explain every detail. But real conversations don't always happen that way. Achieving emotional clarity takes effort. When that effort is even slightly absent, it leads to small disappointments. These aren't dramatic, just subtle. Over time, they create a narrative that love isn't what you expected. This narrative begins to shape how you feel in the relationship. Psychology offers a framework for this experience. John Bowlby explained that our early bonds create internal working models, mental blueprints guiding how we expect love to feel. In simple terms, your brain isn't just reacting to your partner. It compares them to a standard formed years ago. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." This means adult love isn't about returning to comfort. It's about transformation through misunderstanding, adjustment, and growth. Modern psychology highlights a concept called hedonic adaptation, which means people naturally get used to emotional highs over time. That intense feeling you had at the beginning of a relationship stabilizes, but your brain interprets that stability as loss. So, you're not just facing past expectations. You're also managing how your brain processes change in the present, creating the illusion that something is wrong when, in reality, something is simply evolving. This is where your perspective begins to shift. Love isn't failing you. It's revealing something you weren't taught to see. It shows that real connection isn't built on mind reading or constant emotional perfection. It is formed through communication, patience, and awareness. It involves learning to express your needs and understanding what your partner can't always communicate clearly. It requires accepting that sometimes your partner will miss things just like you will, and that doesn't mean the love isn't real. It means it is human. The kind of love you once found effortless and complete was never meant to last unchanged. It was a starting point, not a destination. You are now stepping into a different version of love, one that may feel less magical at times, but has the potential to be deeper, more conscious, and more genuine than anything you've known before. The truth is, love isn't supposed to feel perfect. It's meant to grow.